Hi, I'm Mike Feeney. You might know me as a comedian or that guy from the internet you want to punch in the face. I'm on the hunt for a co-host for my wildly successful podcast. I've received hundreds of applications from some of the funniest people on the planet.
I'm gonna freak out.
Join me to see if they have what it takes to be my co-host. Welcome to Co-Host Wanted. Today, I'm interviewing a comedian, podcaster, and social irritant. He's been called a provocateur, which is the most obnoxious way to say annoying. He's a professional burner of bridges, autistically honest, and a part-time psychedelic rabbi. It's Ari Shaffir, ladies and gentlemen. Ari,
oh, thanks.
Thanks for coming in, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I
like all those.
Yeah.
The only douchey one felt like comedian and podcaster. The podcaster part feels lame.
You don't think that's a part of your identity at this point? You did
so lame.
Skeptic Tank for how many? Over a decade? Was it a decade?
Yeah, 13, 14 years. Something
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Isn't that's what
weird.
everyone has become now? We're all podcaster is so close. It's above actor for most people.
Oh yeah. Actors. It's over.
Yeah, it's Hollywood stuff.
We were just talking about before we started. Jesse Eisenberg, what a fucking douche barf he is.
Yeah, but
he just has an annoying face that you want to punch, and they're like, "Why do you think you're better than anyone?"
I know, but and
it's not because he's doing well. Plenty of people are doing well. You don't want to punch them.
Yeah, I don't want to
because he's Jewy. There's
no
plenty of Jewy people.
No, hey, nothing against him. Love him.
It's because you don't know your fucking place. That's what it is.
Isn't it because he doesn't? I think like nerd culture. Like he just looks like he would be a guy who you want to bully in high school. You just want to like pick him up by the backpack a little bit.
He's also just doing Michael Cera.
Yeah, but like
early Michael
more
Cera.
Annoying. Michael Cera was likable and was it felt vulnerable. Where Jesse Eisenberg is like, no, you're an idiot. Like he's like he's a guy who goes, actually, he's the actually guy and corrects you on everything.
Yeah, right. Boycott his movies. Everyone.
Yeah,
please
there we go.
Start the no. Hashtag. No Jesse, no Joe. Oh no, I was gonna.
Yeah, we're 3 minutes in. Let's figure.
Yeah, let's get a hashtag to boycott Jesse Eisenberg's projects.
Yeah. All future works, everything else,
including work as a producer.
Yeah.
Anything he does in life.
Anything he touches.
This hashtag.
This will be the thing that gets it. This will be like Hannibal's Cosby thing. This is how it starts. This will be our viral.
Eisenberg. We got Eisenbarf. Nah.
Yeah.
Something's there. If we had it, we could get it going.
Yeah. We'll workshop it. Put it in the comments. All right. Let's. I am excited you're here, though, man. This is nice.
Seem excited.
I am. I'm very excited because your name. First off, just your name alone to me, it sounds like a fancy Israeli dessert that I'd order and then immediately regret. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just like, ooh, too much labna.
Yeah. I love the Ari Shaffir, vomit, diarrhea.
Can I tell you when I got some Israeli food yesterday, and I have to make sure they know that I am.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
do you need to make sure? Do they not pick that up?
That I know that I do with Arab restaurants too. When they're like, I'll have the falafel platter and the schug and the halissa, please.
You throw that little accent on there. Yeah.
Just on some. Like,
has that ever reflected in any sort of discount or sort of like a nod?
Right? Not even a nod. I do it at Mamoon's all the time. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, give me harif, and they're like, I'm like, hot sauce.
I feel like the last time I went to Mamoon's, it was like Mexican people working.
It's all Mexicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the recipe's right. Mamoon died.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the picture of him as like a grown man is from 1972.
I was gonna say it's a pretty old restaurant. That's actually not. I don't know why I reacted surprised to hearing he's dead.
You thought he just died.
If you told me that, that's why.
Right.
If you told me that Mamoon never existed, I would have also it's like Smith and Walensky. You know how that was just a company who wanted to create a steakhouse and they literally just took two names that sounded good. There's no Smith, there's no Walensky. They just made that up. They like took two phone book names. They're like Smith, Walensky,
wow.
Smith and Walensky's. That sounds like a steakhouse you'd pay a lot of money to go eat at.
It is.
It is, and it's good.
Yeah.
The Colorado, best cut of the city. You've always been a bit
Denny's started.
Is it?
Yeah, there was this guy, and it was like, what would you want to put A1 on? I'm like, it wouldn't be a place like with two names. It'd be like Denny's.
Yeah. You've always been a bit of a lone wolf. So why do you think that you'd be a good co-host?
Okay, so I want to give up some of the power.
Okay.
To have to be on at all times and be ready. I want to just get in there and tag. I have done my own thing for too long. Mm-hmm. I just want to be a Richter.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I want to be just like, I'm just here. Also, I'm in the stage of my life right now where I'm getting drunk a lot.
Okay.
So at some point when you're drinking, you're out with Sean Patton or something, and he's like another, and you're like, oh, I got
What an enabler he is, huh?
Oh, he's one of the best drinkers.
Truly.
Of all time.
He's so fun to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the Shane thing, like, come on, one more. He's just like, I got around. Like, okay.
Yeah.
He just makes it fun.
Yeah.
But then you got to be prepared for this thing. As a co-host, I'm just ready with the tag. And even if I'm too fucked,
yeah,
I think it'll still be funny.
It'll add to if anything else. And I'm kind of like a planner.
Let's say you get Andy Richter in this seat. I'm over here.
Oh, we can get Andy and
yeah, Andy Richter. Let's say he's the guest, and he just leans over and he sees me going like, that's a laugh right there.
just sweating out Jameson.
And he's like, man, I never did that. I'm like, well, you wasted it, Andy.
Yeah,
and I fucking got fucking right in the balls.
Not down, right on the same couch.
Right in the Richters.
Dude, why he hasn't come up with a right in the Richters tag? Like, that's a fucking perfect.
Well, he died, but like,
yeah. Okay. I like that though. See, yeah, because I feel like I'm a bit of like more of like a planner, and I'm totally down for someone to be the yin to the yang kind of a situation.
Yeah, you're busy fucking preparing, getting your hair ready. I don't have either of those problems.
This is great. Okay, that's good. You've been on Joe Rogan's podcast dozens of times, so I know you know the pressure of like a massive audience. Like it won't paralyze you. I know that. Unlike the vaccine, I didn't show you the numbers for this yet, have I?
Remember when everyone was talking about the vaccine?
Yeah.
It's so funny that everyone like cares about something for a while and then stops caring completely.
Stops. Yeah. I will say I think Jordan Jensen just told me she just had COVID, and I was like, what? Still? It's now?
Yeah, it's like, how do you even know?
Yeah, how did you get that?
You had a call, and you test,
I was going to say, you went to get a test? And she's like, I don't know, it was terrible.
But they say it's just the flu. It's at some point you just go, well, yes, so you're sick, right? Just stay home?
Yeah, you're just Sue. You're just flu. I said sick and flu.
Wow, Phallic slip.
This is why I need you to pick me up. Pick me up.
No, I see a case.
But yeah, these are I'll show you the numbers of it. They've been pretty good. What was that? I like that little magic trick you did. So you could see, we're doing pretty well right now, and it's pretty big, good numbers. So again, we're not at Rogan's level yet. I wouldn't want to, upset, that whole apple cart. But again, I like it's a knock for you. It's a positive for you that you can handle the pressure. You don't have a pocket. You're the only person, by the way, I want to say this sincerely. You're the only person I've met who pays people to do his podcast. Which, by the way,
only one.
The only one I've ever done in my life. And but I will say it inspired me, and I've decided that I am going to do that too.
Is it the same? Am I getting also this? Am I also getting the same?
Well, no.
As the numbers?
By the way, this isn't a podcast. This is an interview. So, but when I find the permanent co-host, I'm definitely going to start paying people. So that's a good.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this is just the interview. This doesn't really count as like a show. So, but I do think more people should do that. Pay it forward. Have you ever done any other podcast that pays? Theo's pays. Okay.
Theo paid me like a G.
That's great. I
heard, this alt comic, Russian name, New York alt comic.
Alt comic, Russian
He's a little older, probably like 50. Almost had it. He had like a story one. God, he took everybody out to lunch one time in Montreal.
Oh, that's nice.
What the fuck's his name? Russian-y name, but he was in the alt scene here.
Okay. Russian.
But he wasn't Russian at all. He was American.
See, the Russian name is what's
throwing you off. Yeah.
Alt scene. Immediately, when I hear alt scene, I immediately go to like Joe Pera.
Yeah, he's probably
not Russian.
Just before that. Anyway, he paid, I heard. Because he was like asking for like you to do stories, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm making money off that." I think he also paid like a G, more than me.
That's great.
Yeah, Norman said that. But yeah, not many. Skanks talked about it for a minute.
Yeah, they sure did.
And then they go, we pay. I'm like, you keep saying you pay to people who have never been paid.
Yeah. Lewis also...
They mention it, you're like, I'm right here and I've been on.
I remember I would do Real Ass Podcast, and Lewis, I would like have to pay for a parking garage, and Lewis is like, I'm not paying you to park, Feeney. I was like, okay. That's like, just lose money every single time.
Oh, yeah.
What
would the co-host make, though?
What do you mean?
Well, these guests are getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, but buddy, you're coming in on ad revenue. You're coming in on you're part of the. You're going to be well equipped. I mean, I know you do okay now, but this is you won't have to do anything. You can tour if you want, but you don't have to do anything else.
I think I don't do as well as people think.
Well, then you put on airs pretty well.
I constantly get all these like comments. Sometimes it'll be like me and somebody will be talking about something. They're like, "Oh yeah, 2 millionaires talking about whatever," and I'm like, "Who's the second one?" What?
Yeah.
And then inside of the weird position of like, oh, you're just doing not nearly as well as you should. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck. What?
Yeah. I feel like you're a guy though that, and we'll get into this.
When I get $100 from the seller, I'm like, nice. That affects me every time.
That makes me actually upset a little bit, just because I assume that you were in a much where $100 was not like I picture every 5 times you do the seller, you go, you keep it.
Oh,
give it to,
yeah, right. I've heard of stories like that. No way. I'll get my moons just so I don't have to tip heavy at the seller, because seller you get half price, but then you got to tip so much, and it's like full price thing. My moons is cheap. And no tip.
You do have to tip heavy. That people always are watching. Like, and then there's that thing where people go, "Can I get a bottle of water?" And then you see a comic being like, "Do I have to leave a 5 on asking for a bottle of water?"
Can I just get one? That's why I do love Rogan's Club. He just like, there's just mixers and drinks up there.
Yeah, stocked. I love that. Just greatest green room in the country.
Greatest green room.
Yeah.
You don't have to bug some bartender to get a free drink.
Yeah.
You're actually just like fucking with the bartender.
Right.
Let me just go and make my own exact drink.
100%. What's the worst job interview you've ever been on?
Damn. It's a tough one. I'm trying to remember the old job interview days. I mean, auditions where you just like don't remember lines.
Well, yeah.
Those aren't really. I mean, there are kind of job interviews, but not really.
No, I'm talking like
real
an
jobs.
actual job.
Damn, it's been so long. The last ones I went on was after college. I interviewed for the Discovery Channel. That went well though. I just didn't get it, but I think I was second on like building the website for Discovery.
You're good at like website stuff?
I was okay, and I had some creative bones, so I would have been like not a comic if I got that job.
Yeah.
For sure. Damn, I don't know. I think I just got everyone I ever did.
Wow, that's a positive for this, you know?
Well, I mean, there's. All right, you take your time with this interview process, but I assume it's done.
Okay, I love the confidence. That helps too. What about this? Have you ever been? I know you've nailed every job. Have you ever been fired?
Oh yeah. Oh, quite often. Yeah, so the interview part is where I excel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I was like, damn, I know I've had bad jobs, I've really messed up jobs. I mean, I guess this is the wrong thing to say at a job interview.
Sure. It's okay. Listen,
you're just supposed to say
transparency. No, it'd be weirder if you've never been fired.
Yeah.
Domino's was disconcerting, but I would like to hear a good
Domino's Pizza got fired.
Okay. Weren't you in a Domino's commercial?
I was also in a Domino's commercial. I mentioned it to them that I was like, I used to work with them. I have my own hat and shirt still. If you want me to bring it in, they go, what? Yeah.
That probably helped you get the audition. They didn't have to do a fitting, you know?
Yeah, I bet I must have worn the hat for the audition. Commercial auditions are the dumbest. It was just like you just had to wear something that makes you look similar to the thing.
Yeah.
One time I was doing one for Coke Zero. I had to shake up a bottle of Coke Zero versus like Diet Coke and spray it in this guy's face. Me and this other guy. Oh, and the other guy was, he was in The New Girl, and then he went on to do some other movies. He was in a Tom Cruise movie.
I can picture his face.
I'm blanking on names today.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Short guy, black hair.
Yeah. Like kind of curly hair.
Yeah, he's the other guy spraying the fucking. Dude, I've done some commercial. I did one with Jeremy Renner.
Did you?
Yeah, when he was broke.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That rules.
Yeah.
But wait, how did you get fired from Domino's?
They said it was not learning my route enough.
Okay. Your
so
delivery
it was taking too low.
Yeah.
Long. The reality that I'll tell you, don't air any of this.
No, this is just for private records.
I would just steal a lot. So I would just say I was late. I was just after the 30 minutes had to give off money, But I wasn't. I just said it was like 31 minutes, just barely missed it, barely missed it. And I would just pocket that difference.
Whoa, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Okay, cut back in now.
Okay, yeah, and we're back. Any other firing jobs you could think of that was a good life lesson for you?
Full firing. No, that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one, and it felt so bad. I was like, I don't ever want to get fired again.
Yeah, it does. I had a guy once tell me he fired me like a real, he was very beta about it. He was like, we're going to go in another direction. Ugh. But he said that as he was literally passing me, and I thought he was doing like a literal bit.
Going in
yeah, and I was like, wait, are you serious? And then he was like averting eye contact. It was so weird. It was a restaurant job, but it was just
wow. I will tell you though that getting fired from that job, I was too embarrassed to pick up my last paycheck for like 3 weeks. I had to go get it, but I was like, I don't know, they're all gonna like. But later I realized it's Domino's. Everyone here is temporary. No one cares.
It's a revolving
so just going, I'm like, oh, how you doing?
Yeah.
And also, it's mostly by yourself. You just come, talk for 2 minutes, get your pizza, and go.
Yeah. And also, people are probably like, thank God you're out. You know what I mean? Because there's people who get just stuck. You know, they get into that middle management, and they're just like there for the rest of their lives. Kind of thing.
But I will tell you that it was so embarrassing that I was like, this was when I was, I think, 16.
Yeah.
I didn't ever want that to happen again. And I never had it happen again. I never got fired again.
There you go.
So that was 15 years ago when
Look
I was
at
16, and I won't let that happen again.
All right. Psychological question for you.
Yeah.
How many trash cans do you think? How many trash cans do you think you've seen in your life? Be specific and include dreams in that number.
I don't dream about trash cans.
Okay. There's never been one in the background?
Nobody told me once in a dream there's a trash can around the corner, and I go, you know what? Now that you mention it, this is in the dream. I was quitting weed, so you smoke, right?
Yeah.
Hella.
Yeah.
But like when you stop the 8th day or right around there, you get crazy dreams.
Vivid dreams.
Anyway, somebody told me there's a trash can out there. I was looking for something to throw away, and I go, oh, yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I've never seen a trash can in a dream.
Yeah, that weird, lucid sort of like.
Yeah, and the guy talking to me, no legs, floating, no legs.
Casper style.
Legs, no feet. And then just going, what? And I was like, yeah, I've never seen even seen one in any dream. Yeah, and he goes, that's crazy. And it hit me. We both looked at each other like we were both, I let on that I'm aware I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
And it was like, this can be bad. The guy looked at me like,
he pulls out a gun.
You didn't quite tell me enough that I have to do this. But it's like, you know the scene in, what's the movie with the conch shell?
Moana?
It was a great book. And then it was
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
And then he's running, and two of the guys in the evil crew, they see this guy, and he's like, shh, and they're like, and they kind of move on. Because they're like, we want to be in the tough guy's gang. We actually don't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
So the guy looked at me like, and then he like let it go.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, but what do you give me? I'm looking for a hard number.
Can't go to sleep again.
Yeah. What? Give me like a rough estimate number.
Probably 80, 81.
80.
Yeah.
You've ever seen in your life, outside as well as outside of dreams.
Yeah, right.
80?
No, none in dreams.
Okay.
A lot of these people are fucking getting their numbers up.
None. 80 in your life, including dumpsters, including your house. You've seen 80 trash cans. That seems like a unbelievably low number.
81 because I threw out that bottle today.
All right. 81 it is. I'll write it down. Something we have in common. We both big Yankee fans, which we were both at the postseason together. We were at the
did it.
World Series together.
I got to show you this.
What's going on?
Don't say anything, but I got to show you this.
I feel like we've really like bonded over that. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, the Yankees rule.
What is this? I have a buddy.
That's just for you to read.
Whoa.
Right?
No way.
I don't know if it's for me or I think he's just going to a show.
Where are you?
It's an off day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in a few places.
Whoa.
So it could be any one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's the kind of guy I am.
Now we can't even
sitting right here. That's the kind of guy I'd be.
Well, I'm excited.
Insider jokes from right here. Imagine the guest now going, what are you guys talking about? Like, shh.
The comments.
You know what I mean? The discomfort they feel.
The comments furious.
I think they would make them come out of their shell more.
Wow.
You know, Eric Andre used to like crank the heat on his guests? Yeah, to make them uncomfortable. Before they knew it was the Eric Andre show, they just thought it was a regular show.
It's gotta be hard for him to get people to when it like
it's over now.
You
can't. They already know what the deal is.
Yeah.
So like once Tom Hanks' fucking retarded son showed up,
Chet.
the one that's got severe Down syndrome and learning disabilities.
Oh wait, I was thinking of the rapper.
Yeah. Yeah. The rapper. It was good in Atlanta. Once he was like, wait, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, he realized what was going to go on. Then he came with like a motorcycle and like ruined everything.
Yeah, that's the worst when they know about the bit and then they try to.
So then it was over. But yeah, the crank neat. So that's the kind of thing we'd have.
Right.
We'd be talking past the guy.
Yeah.
Get him uncomfortable. We can cut that or leave it.
Yeah.
But it would get him.
I like the discomfort. I want to leave the discomfort.
Yeah. And I say get him. I'm talking about the guest.
Yeah.
Because also, hey, sidebar, cut this too. I'm not thinking chicks should be on this show.
No women ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Any reason for that? You don't think they could bring in a different demographic, a different energy, you know?
Yeah, different energy is what I'm talking about. It's a problem. Plus, when they're ovulating, it's like it messes up everything.
Okay. I mean, I feel like maybe that's the ones that we ice out if we have one here, and then that's when we can just have it may be funny have a woman there and then just do a whole podcast, you and I, and then see how the internet reacts to that.
You can see this has turned from an interview to a brainstorming session.
Okay, you're right.
I've got the job.
Let's stay. I am, though, excited about the Yankees' chances this year. I think Judge, Belly, Goldie, Rice.
Cole went down, and it's like, oh, well, that's it. And now it's like, oh.
Fried has been electric. A fellow Jew, by the way. Which, by the way, when's the last time the Yankees have had, like, a starting pitching ace Jewish guy?
Just an all-starry Jew.
Yeah.
Is tough.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Harrison Bader was on both the Yankees and the Mets, but he was not very
I'd say
good,
the last great Jew was that, who's the guy that took pictures with his baby right next to his dick? Local congressman. Regional.
Oh, wait. I know Wiener sent dick pics. He didn't take a picture of a baby.
His baby was right there with his, like, dick was like.
No way.
His dick was, the outline of his dick was like right there in his jeans, like this. And then his baby was kind of right there. That's what he sent out. Running again, by the way.
Probably win. Same with
Probably
Cuomo.
win because honestly, it doesn't affect his job.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's not
yeah.
working at a fucking women's shelter. Then you can't do that.
Remember when Cuomo got, like, canceled for being Italian? When he just was like, hey, I hug, I kiss, what do you want me to do? Like, it was the best. That's the best.
They had one of those in West Hollywood, the mayor. It's a gay city.
Yeah.
So you have to be gay to win there. And so the mayor was got in trouble for, like, pinching butts and stuff like that. And they're like, you can't do it. And he's like, I'm gay.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, I'm lesbian. I don't like it. Like, well, you'll just take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gay and this is West Hollywood.
You'll handle it.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like
they got some Jews now. One Jew.
Yeah.
Like, it's great.
I feel like we should organize some sort, and you'd be good at this, I feel like, is like organize some sort of like comic, like we should all go to a game. It doesn't have to be a playoff game, but like.
No, I wanted to on Thursday. Well, this is going to air already, but Thursday, May 22nd was, whatever. Tomorrow, sorry. I know it's not going to air. It's the kind of thing I would say. I've lost myself in this, just so you know. I assume we'll be doing the podcast here.
Yeah. We'll be doing it. Yeah. Well,
is this the spot for when the podcast will be?
This is the spot. This is the studio.
Just show you how comfortable I got real quick.
Yeah, you got very comfortable. You just let it. You just let it.
I felt like I'm already here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm like a lesbian on a date. I bring a toothbrush.
Okay, that's fun. You're just assuming you're staying over. I like that. Okay. Yeah. But I was saying, maybe like September, like, you know, like the. Like, is there a Red Sox season?
There's a day game. Fuck the Red Sox.
Why? I like a good Yankees, Red Sox, or something like. Who would you want to see? What's a good rivalry in September?
Here's what I say. It's not about the rivalry. It's about the hang. Baseball's about the hang. Regular season.
Sure.
Unless it's late, you're in a hunt. What you want is a good Rays game or Rangers game
where it's cheap,
where you're just like, let's go sit in the bleachers. Let's get a block of like 5 by 5, like 25 seats,
right,
for $10 each. Let's go up there. Let's get blasted. We're high enough up there where people want to smoke weed. You just do it.
Yeah.
And you just quickly all pinners, get rid of them, and then just like have a great time. And if you're screaming too much about jokes that involve forced sex, if you know what I'm saying, don't want to get demonetized if you do, then move over if there's a child too close to you.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop those jokes.
Yeah.
Well, but there's so much open room. Let's move over.
That is the tough thing with comics, where you go into public places with comedians and you realize there's no like civil discourse. There's no like, oh, there's a child here. Maybe I shouldn't be screaming and cursing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Mike, can you pull up like images, like the schedule in September or something like? I feel like there's got to be some sort of a good like game or something.
Weekday
like
day
that,
game. There's one weekday day game a month. That's when you want to do it.
Is that true? It's
one weekday
day game.
Yeah, per team.
I didn't know
month.
That. Yeah. Wow, and that can't be true. It has to be more than that.
Chicago Cubs are different, but that's it.
Yeah, you remember when Chicago Cubs, they never used to. I went to Wrigley before it had the big
block
Titantron thing there, and then it was just like you had to just watch the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was no replays. So like if you missed it, you missed it. It was so pure. This was in like 2000.
Not too long ago.
10 or 12. Like it
no
wasn't
night games.
Yeah, no night. Well, I mean, I think they probably still had night games, but it was like
they started night games like under 20 years ago.
What's up, buddy? What? Come in.
He doesn't have the capabilities.
Why?
2 seconds.
Okay.
None of this recording?
No, it's recording, but there's not.
We don't have a TV.
No, it's working, but I pulled up the schedule, but I don't know if you want to see that.
Why? What's happening?
A lot of anti-Jew
I'll
shows.
pull it up.
Okay.
We don't have to record this.
Okay.
I just wanted to.
My stomach is saying, what the fuck does that mean?
Are the Yankees disbanding?
Can you imagine? They're just like,
What an odd thing to sell. Pull it up, but not.
what? This is on the website? MVP frontrunner Aaron Judge announces season-ending.
Just hit Yankees schedule and this is what popped up.
That's on their website right now?
Yeah, but I went to just go to the Yankees.com website.
Fuck you. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That'll ruin my whole summer if that's the. It's a devastating gut punch to the best. After Saturday's game with the Mets, Aaron Judge felt tightness in his throwing arm. He played through it Sunday, but post-game told Aaron Boone he was in a lot of pain. Dude, I'm like this. I feel fucking sick.
What?
The Christopher Ahmad. Oh, yeah, he's the guy who does everybody's surgery. Tentatively scheduled for Wednesday.
No.
Oh, we're fucked then, dude.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
Renazizi just wrote me.
Renazizi just texted you?
Yeah.
What did he... Oh, my God,
he
dude.
wrote, motherfucker, Judge out for the season.
Oh, yeah. I just opened Instagram, top of my fucking thing. That... Well, now they're going to know when this episode was recorded. Oh, my God, dude. I feel like legitimately... Yeah. I feel like legitimately sick right now.
God. I mean, he knew he wasn't going to keep up that pace, but like...
A 4.15 average? I thought he was going to get hurt when he dove for the fucking Mets. I'm like having trouble. I'm like nauseous right now, dude.
Oh my God.
Let's take a second here and just sort of fucking...
Well, I guess he's not...
Yeah, I'm getting texts too now from people. This fucking...
What?
How are we going to go back into the episode is my thing. I should have brought this up at the end of the fucking...
I was texting Esty today, and I was like,
That's
how long do you think it's going to keep this up?
crazy, dude. I know you have a heart out. I don't want to fuck it. Should we just... How are we going to...
All right. God damn. I mean, Cole was one thing.
No, without him, we're fucked.
I knew he was coming back to... Yeah,
we have nothing without him.
He's protecting everybody in the lineup, too.
Yeah. And we just lost one of his best seasons.
He was having a season that was so fucking crazy.
It was better than last year. Last year he started April with like a 100 batting average, and now
he started off so low, then went up, and now he's like, well, he's a slow starter. He's always a slow starter, and now
he still was an MVP. And now this year dude, I'm like sweating.
God damn it!
Oh, I'm fucking mad. I don't know how I'm gonna do the rest of this fucking thing, dude.
I'm going tomorrow.
All right,
Let's get back into it.
Mike, I wish you had just pulled up the schedule and showed me this afterwards.
God damn it. You can feel the stages of grief. You can feel it. They cycle. It's not like once it comes back and goes forward, comes back, goes forward.
Dude, I'm like...
wait, what if there's a way around this? He's like, I want to fix it. Maybe there's not. There's like the reasoning. There's the anger.
Maybe there was a typo.
Sadness.
Maybe they meant DJ LeMahieu. All right.
Hey Siri, what are the stages of grief? Okay.
I mean, should we just address this?
Yeah, address it.
Go into the.
Yeah.
Should we just keep
part of the interview?
We could just keep this.
Obviously. Listen, I'm going to commiserate with you on things like this.
Yeah. What are the stages of grief?
The 5 stages of grief in the Kubler-Ross model. What a fucking dork that guy is.
What are they?
Go through 5. Denial.
I said fuck you initially. Yeah.
I was like, is it April 1st? It's not April 1st. Anger.
You said, is there any way we could fix this? That's such a funny way to say that.
Bargaining, that's 3.
That's what we just did, bargaining. So what's 4 and 5?
Depression.
Yeah, that's coming on strong right now. Acceptance is a fucking year away from now.
No way.
For me.
We're in first place.
We're best record in the American League.
With a fuck up of Devin Williams not even fucking playing.
Yeah, although he was good this weekend, but still, without him, we have no.
But I'm saying first place with all that. He's been not even like a 3 ERA.
No.
7.5. And still we're in first place, which is like, oh wow, we really got a chance. He'll come back to earth. Judge will come back to earth.
Goldschmidt will come back to earth.
Schmidt will come, or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, Fried will come back to earth. Goldschmidt will come up. But it's like we've sustained. Those guys who are bad will come up. Jazz is.
I literally was just saying yesterday about how fucking pissed. All right. Anyway, well, this is a good first test of us, because we are, commiserating together and finding out that if nothing else, has been a test of how big of Yankee fans we both are, because I am.
Oh my God.
Almost nauseous right now, but do I look like green? I feel like, when your hands get like...
Too much cigar smoke.
Clammy. Yeah. Too much cigar smoke is my fucking mood right now, dude. Okay. Let's try to get back into the interview, because I
couldn't when he was going, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no? I was like, the TV's not hooked up.
As a heads up, Mike, our producer, came in and broke the news about. Well, we'll just keep this all in. You'll see it. You'll see our reactions in real time, and now we'll go back. We'll try to go back to. I'm going to try and steer the ship back to a fun place.
Well, it's not a podcast. It's an interview.
Yeah, this is true. So it doesn't matter to try to steer the interview.
You think you're going to show these interviews? Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna review them, but it would be one. I think it'd be fun. This is like an SNL audition when they air people's auditions years later, and they're like,
they don't
air
the ones who didn't get it.
Yeah. John Rudnitsky though had one of the greatest interviews. Auditions on SNL. If you've ever, you should go Google his thing. It was great. It was one of those things where you go, I get why you got it, because it was so great. But he goes, the problem is that's all I had, and that's why he was there for a year. But all right, well, fuck me. But something else we have in common is that we both love to travel. Very few comedians like to do anything but spots, and we get paid to travel like around the world. And I feel like so many comics just sit in their hotel room and don't explore. I love exploring.
Yeah? What do you do when you get to a place?
I always look up, I want to eat the most, local, if I go to, even if it's stupid, I want to eat what they're known for. If I go to Minneapolis, I want to get a Juicy Lucy burger. If I'm going to, Kansas City, you got to get a certain type of barbecue. It's like, I like the idea of eating, trying to have a very authentic, I'm
That's
a big Bourdain loser with that,
With barbecue, with Kansas City barbecue, and that's like a specific thing where you can it makes you more worldly to just know the difference between Carolina barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, Austin barbecue, and then I don't know what else there is, but you should now you know the difference.
100%.
Juicy Lucy, I can get that somewhere else, but you don't really know what KC barbecue. By the way, I'll just quote The Rock on this. Kansas City, your women are all ugly, and your barbecue tastes like cardboard and ketchup.
When The Rock was heel, he was the best. I guess he's never become a face, but he just was one of the best of all. He's so much more famous than Hulk Hogan ever became, which is crazy to think about.
Disagree.
What do you mean? You don't think he's more famous? He's been in so many more. He's an A-list. He's had movies, TV shows. He's been in blockbusters. He's running. He's going to run for president.
Hulkster.
Now listen, you can argue about.
He can't run for president. He's born in Samoa.
Was he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think his father was. I don't think he was.
Look at that. See how he just makes stuff up and sell it?
I bought it. Yeah. You're the only man who could take...
guy. Yeah, we like to travel. Sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're the only man who could take a year off to find himself and come back worse. But going off the grid for months at a time would obviously impact the show. So would you be open to wearing...
Well, these seasons. Well, you brought up these seasons idea.
I am going to do the show in season, so maybe in the off season.
Yeah, I do it responsibly.
Okay.
I don't leave right before I got a big thing where people are counting on me. I wrap up my dates. Listen, I'm a lot like Richard Jenny. Cancel my dates first, then get in the bathtub.
Okay.
I don't want to leave these clubs that have been so nice to me. I'm like, is he showing up? I'm like, no, he's bleeding out. Just be responsible with it. So when I finish a season of my storytelling show or something like that, that's when it's like, Hey, I finished. Did the editing.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay. Great. Because I was going to ask if you'd be, and still though, just in case you go to a place, I know you go off, you don't have service a lot of times. Would you be open or willing to wearing like a small yet noticeable tracking device?
No, I would not. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
crazy. I will mail
That's a
you.
bridge too far?
I will mail you letters to tell you that I'm still safe and coming.
I would love that. I would love a handwritten letter from you. That's great.
I did that when I went to Southeast Asia. I was in Kupang, Indonesia.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote a letter to, I was like, they were talking about getting my, sorry.
Jeez.
It said show
That's
up.
unprofessional.
It said show up an hour ago. Yeah, they were talking about doing the Wild West comedy
Oh yeah, the
festival
Vince Vaughn.
for that storytelling show. And I was like, we were going to do it at Third Man Records. And I was like, ooh. And I was like, I wrote to Eric Abrams, like, hey, if that's still going on,
Right.
put it on the website and I'll get home for it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to contact me back. I don't have a phone with me
Right.
or any way to get into my email or anything. But, like, just put it on. I'll check their website. If it's listed, I'll show.
And was it?
It got listed. I showed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't you have like a long lease? How did you break, or like not a lease, but weren't you renting a place, or were you just
Renting a place in New York. It was, which one was it? Relatively cheap.
No, I meant over there when you were, because you had to leave early to come back, didn't you? Didn't you have to, or were you just going like night to
I was
night?
hosteling.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, if you leave a hostel early, you don't get a refund, but it's only $12.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Somebody was starting to have an argument with me because I'm going. Here's the keys. Like, listen, you can't get a refund. You already paid for this. I'm like, buddy, I'm just giving you the key.
Yeah.
I get it.
I bet that's obviously happened to them enough times
Yeah.
before, though. I've read you once lived out of a backpack for a year. Was that by choice, or was that what's known in Hollywood as a career adjustment?
It wasn't a year. It was four or 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Southeast Asia. It was great.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a career adjust. That's when the first one. I was like, I'm out.
How'd you wash your clothes?
Sink,
Sink.
laundry services.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of times in let's say Indo or something like that, or East Timor, they'll be like, hey, give them $1.
Right.
They'll just do all your shit for you. And if you give them $1, that's like pretty good money. So they'll really work it hard.
See, that's what's smart
Clean
about you.
your
You go to places where the dollar stretches. You know, you're not
Actually
traveling
making
to
money.
like London and back. You know, and
Yeah,
backpacking
exactly.
there. You know?
Dude, none of the dirtbaggers go through Europe because all the hostels are like $40 or $50.
Yeah.
I met some in San Francisco once. I was walking by some hostel, and they were like, "Oh, Ari." Somebody recognized me, and they're like, "You want to come in for a drink?" They had their, hostels rule. It was really nice, and it was like, "Sure, I'll drink with you guys." I wasn't going anywhere, and but yeah, it was like $45 a night. I'm like, you can't survive this way.
Yeah.
Under 15.
That's what you gotta be. Yeah,
And some of
that's
these
the whole
places,
point
like,
of a hostel.
4 or 7.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of like sleeping in the same room as other people. Though.
You get over it.
All right.
You have to. I will.
In all the countries you've been to, what's the worst toilet you've ever experienced, and did it change you as a person?
Yeah, it was China when I got there. At
You had that locked and
yeah,
loaded.
it was the first time I discovered a shit squat toilet, and it did change me. I'm less trusting of humanity.
Explain what a shit, like a hole in the ground, or like what's a shit squat?
Yeah, it's a hole in the ground with let me show you. Mike, you got my can you get the couch at all or no?
You would have to manually do a wide here, but I don't know if you can.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Don't just. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. There we go. Look at this. Okay. I love what we're doing here. We got everyone's coming in. We're adjusting.
You got that? Got this in there?
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so shit squat. I'm gonna lean over to talk about this.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a hole right here.
Okay.
There's a hole right here, and there's 2 foot pedals here with like ridges so you don't slip. Kind of like in a shower where old people are.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not a mat. It's that. So then you got to just get, and it's shaped like kind of like a urinal thing, but flat. Like if you're looking at a urinal from straight above.
Okay.
So the hole is like wider and then more oval, and you got to get over it. And I mean, this is tough on a couch, but then you got to like just
put your ass in the
and
hole.
you got to pull your pants. I may as well do that here.
You don't have to. You're selling the image of this. I mean, don't actually.
So then you got. Oh, you know what? Actually, you might not be able to use that. Yeah, that's a nice blur. So then you got to go like this, but here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Look, that's shit. And then, so you got to like
Yes,
kinda hold this up and also not lean back. So you got to like try to hold on to something. You can't get in the hole. Now it's like touching. That's not it.
And do you wipe?
That's another issue.
This is...
So you got to have to like, hold on. Let me do it back.
Okay. Dude, thank you. Don't pull down.
Oh, is that a blur?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really sorry. That was an accident. So then you kind of have to go like this. You don't want your dick to touch
No.
a shit squat.
Absolutely not.
And so you kind of have to, and I have long balls. So you just, this, and then, I almost shit right there.
Okay.
You're trying to hold on to something.
Yeah. Hold it on. You've painted a clear. Thank you for that very clear picture. One that I'll never be able to unsee. I may never go to China just from that demonstration alone. I think that was the fucking worst thing I've ever seen.
But they don't warn you. They just, they should, at the airport, you should be like, anyone from Western culture is not going to know what this is.
How prevalent, is that like in like airport bathrooms or like, is that just like everywhere? Or is
Didn't
that
shit
just...
at the airport, so I don't know. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, my pleasure.
Was that just something that you experienced? Like, was that everywhere, or was that just like a couple?
Some of the
places?
high-end hotels, and not high-end. I mean, decent
The
hotels.
hostels for sure probably got.
Didn't stay at hostels in China.
Okay.
I was on a tour, so they put me at hotels.
Good Lord.
But those would have the regular toilets, and then you get out into and they just don't. The Great Wall of China, the Imperial Palace, not Imperial Palace, that's Star Wars. The Emperor's Palace.
The Death Star. I mean, anything you're trying to do.
You just go in there and you're like, and you look stall after stall after stall. It looks like because you
Like
don't wrap your head
stole
around
the
it.
toilet.
Because right. You're like, oh, this one's under repair, I guess. I'm like, oh, this one's under repair too. It's like, it's not the toilet's broken. There's just they ship it off to get fixed. It's like, is that communism? And then you realize it's just, that's it. There's also a trash can because you can't flush anything there. So it's just many
Why can't
people.
you flush anything? They don't have irrigation there?
It doesn't work that way. You just pour a little water into the thing. It's not
Everything
a flush
must
system.
smell like shit.
Yeah. And it's not just one person's shit. It's
I
a trash
can't.
can with dozens of different people's shit. It's coming together.
I can't, and I won't. And
so I got the benefit of the club who ended up actually stealing the club from the guys who ran it.
Okay.
It was pretty wild. He goes, cool, I'm doing it myself now. Anyway, it's all gone. The country just took it back. They go, thanks for your help with capitalism. We got you. You're all banned.
Whoa.
We know how to make this work for ourselves now.
Interesting.
We learned everything. Anyway, when I got there, he goes, you just got to China? And I go, yeah. And he gave me a little packet of tissue paper, a little travel pack. He goes, you'll need this.
Wow. You have to carry. No wonder why they're always outside squatting and smoking. They can hold that position.
They know how to squat.
You think there'd be a lot more Asian catchers because they're good in a squat?
Yeah, they don't really catch much.
Huh. Interesting.
Because they're probably like, in my culture, this is not noted. That we have everyone squats.
Right.
Why would I be a catcher?
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, they're not catching. Yeah. They're more, Yeah,
it's like if you go to like Congo or something, and they go, "Wow, you're so tall. You must play basketball." I'm like, oh, in my culture, I'm actually not that tall. I'm just moderately tall for a regular. For a basketball player, I'm very short.
You love to travel so much. You have a podcast called Be Trippin, which is a not so subtle nod to your other passion, rampant drug use. How's that going?
Mike, if you have me on here, I'm going to have remnants in my pocket all the time.
Okay.
Just stuff that I'm like, oh shit, I have leftover Molly from last night. And I'm still wearing this. You wear the same jeans more than one day, right? Yeah, you just put them back on.
The only pair I think I own at this point.
I'll go like a week and a half straight, all same jean.
Of course.
Yeah. Change underwear.
Yeah.
Shirt.
That we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have stuff in my pocket all the time. Yeah, Molly, mushrooms, acid sometimes. I just remembered I had some fucking acid in between two credit cards, and I've taken out this stuff so many times that I bet it fucking fell out.
Are you kidding? If you have... What a bummer that would... Because it's just a little piece of paper,
It's
right?
a very little piece of paper.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Damn. That could have been 8 hours of fun. That would have really changed this interview.
Balls.
We've just been getting kicked in the balls all day today, huh?
Damn it.
But at least we can shit in an actual toilet, so that's fun.
Fuck.
That
blows.
You spend years traveling, disconnecting, avoiding comfort. Is that about curiosity, or are you pathologically afraid of success?
I think success is discomfort.
It's interesting.
Overcoming discomfort.
Okay.
This is not having somebody feeding grapes to you.
Yeah. That's true.
It's like learning how to fucking buy grapes.
So you are a big hallucinogens guy.
Yeah, it's so funny. Tony's always telling me that you got to come to Austin. You got to come. It's so great. Everything's great. All the shows are great. I'm like, yeah, I want I want crowds hating me. I want struggle.
Resistance.
And he goes, oh, if you want things hard, then no, Austin's not the right. You won't get that here.
You would thrive there. I mean, thrive on stage. I don't know creatively if you would, but
it's like what are you looking for?
You would be killing every set. Yeah.
I make a lot of money.
Yeah. Probably sell even more tickets.
Yeah, my podcast guests would get like a very much higher. Like I'd just be like, hey Rogan, who do you got on? All right,
yeah.
Let me see if they can
Send
come
them
the day
over.
before.
Yeah. You created Shroomfest, which by all angles appears to be nothing more than a grift to sell merch, because you picked just a random time of the year. There's no physical location. You don't host it. You just say, hey, everyone, today's Shroomfest. Don't forget to buy a shirt. And I think I like the ingenuity of that.
Shroomfest just started. I'm just the one who told people about it.
But you did make you do have the merch.
I don't make any money off those.
What do you mean?
The designer makes all the money.
So you have it on your website listed?
He goes, can I make it? People I've had it for a few years. Shroomfest was just an excuse to meet up and wherever you are, meet up and do mushrooms together.
So you don't make any money.
And then
from
somebody's like, you should have a shirt. I'm like, I don't want to make money off this. And then the designer's like, I'll make him like, and then I just gave him the money, all the money from that
continuously,
shirt.
as it even now to this day.
Yeah.
But it's still on your website too. All right, that's actually, you know what? That's pretty admirable.
And then Lee and Gwynn, gives like 10 or 20% of that money to MAPS.
To what?
Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He just like, I'm making all this money off like just designing a shirt. I should just give some to.
Wow. Look at that.
I won't make $1 off that. There's certain things you just shouldn't make money off.
Here I thought I was catching you.
And that's one of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the loudest vegetable?
If you want a free fucking podcast shirt that you can get. Carrots, they scream.
Carrots.
When they're being uprooted, they feel pain. Carrots feel pain.
No way.
Yeah, they scream.
I was going to say celery because it's constant. It takes so long to break down, but carrots might actually be... Carrots have the louder first crunch when the snap into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But they scream. They feel pain.
I don't think they scream. Your last special...
Hey, Siri. You're doing great. You're doing great.
That's a fun little bit you can bring. Your last
From right here. Richter's here. I'm over there
Yeah,
messing with him. Hey, Siri. Richter's like, what? Oh.
Your last special was called Jew, which is funny because I always thought you were Episcopalian.
Yeah.
Your newest special is called America's Sweetheart, and talk about a rebrand. I love that for you.
That's half a joke.
But I love your attention to detail in terms of like the set design, because most comics never think about. I'm being sincere here. For Jew, you had roughly 20,000 burning candles behind you, which was so hot. I was at that taping. God, was it hot?
God, it was hot. It was so hot.
And America's Sweetheart, you looked like you were performing in like a lush forest. How did you come up with those, or was it as simple as this will give my incredibly high audience something to stare at?
I mean, that's part of it. It's like a lot of things. It's the last couple, well, all my specials are like somewhat thematic or hold together, and so then it's like it kind of goes with the theme in an understated way. So Eric Abrams came up with the idea for candles because it should be something religious. We're just like brainstorming. He's like, candles are like religious, because that's why I didn't want to be all about. I want everyone to relate to it,
right?
Even if you're not Jewish, I wanted to be like, I'm doing some jokes about others.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
Your shit too.
It's crazy you didn't use fake candles.
We thought we were gonna have to. And then because of like whatever,
what if blow out or anything?
But yeah, Jordan Levy was like, if you use those fake candles, the flickering fake candles on camera, they're gonna look way bad. They're gonna do this thing where
that's
like,
a great point.
You know, when you get a lot of lines and it looks like it's meringue or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, they're gonna look like that. You would have to get different lenses.
Wow, that person saved you a whole.
No, but it's not that. It's like you're just not allowed.
Oh, okay.
You're just not allowed to use real candles. At the Skirball Bar, I was gonna do it. First, they were like, no way. And then this place, they go, yeah, you can use real candles. You just gotta get a fire marshal in here. Because you got to turn off the smoke alarm, so you'd have to hire a fire marshal. I'm like, how much is that? They're like $500. I'm like,
oh, that's so
yeah.
cheap.
Me and the set designer just looked at each other like,
okay, I think we'd like to do that. You just like quietly nod. Yeah.
So it went like with a religious idea, you know.
It's
just
awesome,
to hearken
dude.
to it.
It makes it look so different. It made it pop. I remember being there. I was sitting up top, and I was like we're like the comments. We were dripping sweat, and then I think at one point you literally were like, "If you guys think that you're hot, like I am 5 feet from this. Like your back was on fire." Like, it was
the AC was so there too, but like
yeah, they were
just
pumping
that
it
day.
in.
Yeah. Oh, we had to get ACs overnight.
Yeah, that was
like,
nuts.
It's too hot. Yeah, and then all the plants and stuff were just about like everyone's so caught up in the news and fuck it. I was just like, what if we just left all this shit and just like well, how long till nature would just overtake this? If we just, like, so we like kind of like this is the building. If we left 50 years, this would all be like this.
That's awesome.
And so like just get away from everything, get back to nature, go hiking, go smell some trees and flowers.
Great.
So it's not like in your face. I saw one review that said like there's plants there for no reason I can discern, and it's like, well, look harder.
You didn't miss the it's
like,
a pretty clear theme. Yeah. Wow. Ari, when you look in
Yes, Mike.
when you look in the mirror, what do you see? A man, a myth, or just someone who's made a career out of being everyone's weirdest friend?
I see decent hair. When I look at like this, it's like, okay. And then I see it in pictures. I'm like, it doesn't look the same.
Yeah. It's not bad on the sides. The back,
sides are
the back
great.
has got a little.
Sides are great.
I also feel like you're at the point where you have enough money where you could like do one of those like Mateo did like the.
Oh, yeah.
the
Well, I want to
hair.
go to Turkey. I want to go the full one.
Yeah. That would be insane. If you came back and your hairline was here, that would be.
I'd go full. I'd be like, yeah, obviously I did it, everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about Mateo. And a lot of people who do that, they're being like, yeah, I do it. Yeah, like
Yeah, great.
I know a couple comics. There's a couple comics, ones that you would never think of, who are like, yeah, I have Botox, like men in like their mid 30s, or like actually I think he's in his 40s, but he was just like, I'll tell you after the podcast just because I don't.
But it's like some people going like, use a moisturizer.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
well, moisturizer we all got to start using.
we got to start using.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but like, I mean, I don't want to say any. I mean, Sal Volcano uses it.
Moisturizer.
Yeah, face lotion.
Oh, I got to, dude. Here's what I do. I just take whatever my wife's like facial like products are.
Yeah.
Anything with like they're like, oh, you're using retinol, you're using anything with an all at the end, like retinol, cortisol, rohypnol, anything that it says, I'm just putting it all over my goddamn face, dude. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, you and Sal should have gay sex. Here's what I'm thinking for you guys. Some sort of anal with penis. So like one of you, but you're gonna have to spread those cheeks.
Listen, man.
And then the other one takes penis. I'm gonna get a side here if you can see it, and then inserts it into it.
Yeah.
Penetrating the rectum.
Yeah.
As it were. Anyway, it's a good way for you guys to connect.
Yeah, okay, bud. Well, listen. I mean, you have a whole. You look like you're a fucking. You're like a cult worshiper that like you guys worship expired hummus. Like you moisturizer wouldn't hurt you. I think. You know?
I mean, I probably should.
Yeah, it's never too. That's the funny thing. It's like I never even used to like use lotion on my hands, and my hands would be like cracked and bleeding in the winter, and people were like, "What are you doing? Like, just use lotion." And I'm like,
I was gonna say, no chapstick. I'm not that guy. I'm like, you also when you made this, you were 21, just full of fucking energy and life. Your cells were rich.
Yes, exactly. We need a little help. What emotion do you think spiders feel the most?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's like sadness. Sadness they couldn't protect their Uncle Ben. They had the chance. Yeah, they all had their Uncle Bens, and they couldn't protect them.
I actually could think it could be sadness because they spend so much time building like that web perfectly, and then some
hiker just goes, and
they're like, that's my home!
children. No,
my wife.
Let's rebuild on this cliff again. Don't build it, guys, idiots. If you're spiders out there, don't build it on a path. Look down before you build it.
A message to the spiders.
Instead of this way, reverse it to it there.
What's the dumbest thing you've ever believed with 100% certainty?
It's two. Can I tell two?
Please.
One is, I'll tell the less bad one first.
Okay.
Somebody told me when I was starting with CDs out,
Yeah.
They go, don't leave it on pause. It'll mess it up if you leave it on pause.
Skip. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then I was telling somebody, I was like, hey, take it off pause. It's my CD. Once you mess it up, once it's scratched, it's like a vinyl. It's fucked.
Yeah.
You can't really repair it if it gets too scratched. And my friend was like, why would it? What do you mean? I was like, it'll mess up the CD. I'm like, how? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, no, it's just the CD's spinning. And then the eye just moves in. And then if it pauses, the eye just stops moving. It's still just spinning from this. It doesn't, what do you mean? It doesn't touch this. And I was like, no, that's it. Because, well, again, I'm telling you how it works. It's spinning. If it's an hour-long CD, it's going to spin for an hour. and this just moves in. If you pause, it just goes. You can skip back. It goes there. None of this affects. And I'm like, okay.
Isn't that the worst thing when you feel so stupid, but you're like, no, but that can't be because you're wrong. You know, like, but then you have no fact to back up.
You have to face your. So I think most of the fighting in this politically is because you don't like to be on a shaky platform of knowledge about the world.
Okay.
You want it to be sure.
Yes.
The Earth is round.
Yep.
And if somebody's like, well, why do you think that? Man, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I honestly don't know, and I can't prove it to you. I just know it's...
Just shut up.
Yeah, because the info I got was that the Earth is round.
My guys on the inside tell me this is legit. You know?
And when you get something like a re-understanding of something like... they're going through now where like Matthew Shepard wasn't killed in a hate crime.
Are they saying that now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, so what you're facing is what I faced when I heard it, is this reality that you have, this platform is safe. And then when it's shaky, you're like, no. So the guy who killed him was gay, and he was his fellow drug dealer. It was a drug deal gone wrong.
Okay. What?
Yeah. So he was in the most liberal city in Wyoming, the college town.
Yeah.
It was a drug deal gone wrong. He was killed by a gay man. So for the hate crime idea, it just doesn't hold up. And when they try to uncover that, I mean, I was in college when we're all going to march, candlelight
it was
vigils.
Like a catalyst of gay rights.
And so then you're faced with, that's bullshit what you're saying, or do you have to go, that's better. It's better that there was no hate crime that heinous.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But you need it to be true, and you're like, who would say it's not true?
Right.
It's like the guys who were like, no, George Floyd is just a fucking fentanyl addict.
This is like a Mandela effect thing. That's what this feels like.
So when something like that happens, or like this war was actually started by this group and not that, like, no, I was told it was that's the other thing. They hate our freedom was the thing. And then you realize way later, like, oh, we've been dropping bombs on like 50 countries for years.
Yeah.
And it was a moment of like, no, they suck. All the Jews or Israelis go through this thing now, like, oh, maybe my side's not 100% right.
Right.
You know, whatever level of right or wrong.
No one's 100%
It's not 100% right. So then it's like, oh, and I'm sure the fucking Palestinians dealing with the same thing. Like, maybe we're not. So like, there's that shaky thing. Why are we talking about this? I know.
Yeah.
And when you say something that's like right and someone tells you wrong, it's still like, no.
Yeah.
You should like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. It's like, no. I know I'm right.
Resistance is the first.
Because someone's taking your platform and just shaking it. Like, stop, I'm standing here.
I don't like that. Yeah, that's very smart, though. Fuck.
Here's the other one.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know much about Mormonism.
Just I've seen the Book of Mormon.
They believe some stuff that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I've seen the South Park episode too. Yeah, dum 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 dum.
Yeah, the no blacks in some 1978 or whatever. They thought that you could build a ladder to the moon. There's a group of humans there called the Lunarians. This is one of the small books who still live there. Jesus went to few different places and planted these gold coins or whatever. The Americas was one, the moon was another, and there's this group of people that live there till today, the Lunarians, all remnants of Jews. And if we could build this ladder to the moon, we'll see them again. Now, that was made before we realized how far the moon was and that you can't build a ladder. And
there's no air.
There's no air. They made this up in a day before they realized, like, oh, well, we didn't have the research back then to know that's ridiculous. So another thing is how did Jesus get to America? He was carried there by a giant bat.
Oh.
Yeah, a giant bat carried him there. He planted the golden coin, whatever, tablets, and then left. And I told somebody that, and they're like, no. What do you mean? I was raised Mormon. That's not true. The Lunarian thing is like a small sect, but like, no. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, where'd you hear that? I'm like, Duncan Trussell told me. And it was probably 15 years in my brain.
Just full hard belief.
It was
giant bat. Giant bat.
I still sort of go, no, every Mormon's wrong. I've got to be right. Even though I know my prankster friend was fucking with me
Exactly. Now. Yeah. That's the worst is when they prank you and then they try to fucking do like what speaking of which, you are like known as a prankster. You're good at pranks. What do you, and we'll wrap up here soon. I know you're panicking. I know you're a big fan of prank. What's a secret to a good prank?
No physical or monetary damage to the victim.
Okay. Well, except when you dose friends, I guess, but that was a physical damage.
What do you mean?
All right, forget that. But still, continue on your thought.
No, what do you mean?
Yeah,
what physical damage?
I mean, damage, but it was a physical toll on them, right?
No, what do you mean?
On Bert?
No physical toll. We danced and hugged each other for 5 hours.
All right.
You've done Molly ever?
I stand. Yes.
What's physical toll? What are you talking about? So you know better.
I stand corrected.
Yeah,
You're
what
right.
physical
Let's
what do you
strike
mean?
that from the record.
If he had had a heart attack,
yes.
then sure, that's a damage.
Okay.
I tested this stuff.
Okay. Nice. Okay. All right.
know
You
he
know
does
what?
powders.
Take back what is it?
Yeah.
So what makes it
No physical or monetary damage. You can't, and I'll add to that, like you can't do something where their girlfriend's going to find out they cheated.
Right.
That's not physical. That's like really fucking with their life. It's an extension of that. Like really fucking with their life to the point of like, hey, I'm actually altered now.
Right.
My whole path is now different
I'm a
because
different
of you.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not, I had a really bad hangover or I missed my train. I had to get it later.
Right.
Yeah, I left somebody once. Somebody ratted on me for doing something at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
It was Duncan, actually, was a talent coordinator. He said the owner, Mitzi, was like really mad. Just made it up. He was the conduit. So he said she's really mad. And then he just ratted on me about, we spread poop all over Bobby Lee's car one day.
Jesus Christ.
And this guy was like, Ari made me do it. It was Ari's poop. It was Ari did it.
Oh my
It was my
God.
poop, but I didn't do it. He did it. I just gave him the bag of poop.
Yeah.
So
I mean, giving someone a bag of poop, you're an accomplice, if nothing.
it's yelling fire.
Yeah.
And giving a child a loaded gun. And be like,
Yeah,
I'm
and be
outta
like,
here.
hey, what you doing to your problem, pal?
It's over there. I'm running. So he ratted on me. So I was like, well, I got to get him back. So we went down to San Diego. La Jolla would put us up, the Comedy Store. And so I made sure me, Rick Ingram, and Painter, and I made sure Painter was on last of the 3 LA guys.
Wow.
And then Ingram, I got on first. It's like a 10-person show.
Yeah.
And then Ingram gets off. He's like, he's crushed. And I was like, hey, we're going. He was like, what? I was like, we're going. Painter's already on. He's on for 8 more minutes. He goes, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm leaving. You can stay here if you want. I'm leaving. I drove.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, can you tell me what it is in the car? I'm like, in the car. We got to go. And then I gave the door guy a note saying to Painter, and it was the note that he wrote ratting on me. And I just wrote rat on the outside. I'm like, hey, give this to Jim when he gets off. And he got and opened it, and it was like, and this was a year later, too. And he was like, and then he's like, where's Ari? He's like, Ari's gone.
Dude, first, let me tell you why I love that, because number one, you didn't even get to see his reaction, but it's better because in your mind you're like,
It could be anything.
Exactly.
It's the goal. It's the case in fucking Pulp Fiction.
And waiting a year is amazing. Here's the great part about that.
He thought I forgot? You don't think I forget?
It's you have to. I think a trick to a good prank is like you have to know the person. You have to know their interests enough to know what to like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I love pranks too. Like if I was gonna prank you, right? It's like I have to know things about you. Like I have to know like you're a big Yankee fan.
No, I've gotten. Can't just be Renazizi. What?
Yeah,
No.
so like I would know that, and I could exploit it with as simple as a Photoshop.
Did you get Renazizi? You got Renazizi to text me because I would open up my text. I would see if this is true. I mean, I almost wrote Esty and was like, I can't fucking believe it.
And so I like pranks too, Ari.
This fucking show. Fuck you, dude. Eat dicks.
Isn't that good? Aren't you in a great mood now, though? Look at that.
God.
The season's back on, baby.
Oh my God.
Season's back
Fuck
on.
this. What? Mike fucking nailed it.
What a nail job, huh? How relieved are you? The season's back, baby. Yankees in 7. We're going to the World Series.
Wait, which one is this?
Which
Did
one
you
is-
make that one up too?
Yeah, just in case you didn't believe it. Yeah, I went with the pass and tweet, but I was afraid you were going to see it wasn't verified, so we didn't show that one. But
UCL too. And I'm like, I saw the game
UCL,
yesterday.
by the way, pitching injury. Never
I
an
saw
injury.
the game too. I'm like, he hit a double.
Yeah. I thought your other text.
I'm going. Wait, what's today? Yeah, I'm going today. No, tomorrow. I'm going to the game. So I was like, nah.
This is the kind of fun we could have.
Here's the thing. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I love a prank to the point where, and I love discomfort.
Deception.
I will sit in discomfort even though it'll hurt me.
Uh-huh.
I still enjoy it. So I enjoy it on one level, but also a prank should make the pranked feel shitty. And I do.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, and then it's full circle to,
And now
but I feel shitty.
You're also now relieved and happy because now it's like you almost
Sort of, but I'm also still feeling like he's out for the season. I'm
But
also
he's not.
still feeling.
He's healthy. He's
Same
batting
thing,
fourth.
Shake. I got a reality, and I've already went to acceptance. So part of me went to acceptance. So now it's like, well, now you're like doing something.
Hey, I appreciate you coming in.
I don't want this job.
We'll let you know.
This kind of thing I'm gonna get this job.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, man.
I mean, well played. He's like, no. What do you mean no? Just show us the September schedule. Wow.
I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna start knocking shit over.